Hey guys, Smarmy Tank here. Wanted to create a video for anybody looking to start playing Realm Royale Reforged. Really just more or less some really simple kind of basic stuff, but I think the stuff that once you plug in and start playing a game, you're like, wait a minute, how do I do this? Or what does this mean? Or how do I adjust this setting? So I wanted to go over just some really basic stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch. I stream live there Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Enjoy the video. So let's start off with some basic settings, right? This is your home page. You click on play if you want to go to the play screen. This is the options menu. There's your audio, your gameplay, your controls. If you're on mouse and keyboard, doesn't matter either way. It helps your sensitivity. And then this is how you bind all of your stuff. I'm not going to get into specifics of how you bind things. I feel like everybody probably knows how to do that. This is where your sensitivity is as far as how your controls, your movements going to work. This is your gameplay. You can change the color of your dot. In my case, I'm using a dot. I'm on the white dot right now, and there's a bunch of different reticles that you can choose from in this menu as well. It'll ask you to apply your changes. I chose not to. You've got an opportunity to change between 4 different curtain classes. This is your warrior class. Right click on that and go to change class loadout or armory. When you go to this, it'll show you items, meaning this is the skins you can choose for your character. The loadout is where you're going to determine a few really important pieces. On this screen, it tells you what your options are for the different slots, slot 1 and slot 2. The slot 1 means basically when you're on your in-game menu, which item is going to go in which slot. The very last item on your far right is going to be your movement ability, which is defaulted there, cannot be moved, and currently cannot be swapped out for any other movement ability in the game. So this is where you get a chance to choose. Do you want the enrage? Do you want the charge? Do you want the shielding shout? Do you want the net shot? Or do you want something random for your number 1 slot? You're going to do the same thing for the second slot, and so on and so forth. This would apply to any class in the game. The abilities are the only thing that varies from class to class. The game does have a tutorial. You can go in and have it walk you through some of these super basic concepts. How to jump over stuff, how to open a chest, how to equip the weapon, so on and so forth. In the same screen that you'll find the tutorial, which I'll circle here momentarily, you can also choose the modes, solo, trio, or squads, the region that you're going to prefer to play in, whether or not you want to have fill team on, and custom games. When you start the game, you'll end up in the Zeppelin preparing for deployment. While in the Zeppelin, you can simply switch between each one of the classes as long as you do it before the time runs out and you are deployed into the actual game. So don't worry if in the lobby you were a hunter and you really wanted to play warrior, or don't worry if your whole team's warriors and you want to switch up. You'll be able to do it in the Zeppelin until you guys take off. Once in the Zeppelin, you will be able to hit your tab button and bring up a map. You'll see the map adjust right as the Zeppelin begins to show itself, determining where the safe zone is to land. Once you hit the spacebar, you will actually deploy yourself and you can start heading into one of the many POIs that are on the map. POIs generally are consisting of places that have been named. In this particular case, I believe I jumped out of the Zeppelin, headed towards Guntown. It's important to note if you're a newer player that landing near more popular POIs mean there's going to be more people, which means there's going to be more early game fighting. If you're new to the game and you're trying to get a feel for things, you might want to land just on the outside of some of these locations, as I have done here, to give myself an opportunity to loot, which is what I'm doing here. Basically opening chests, pulling out items, selecting them. If you see something that has a circle with a line through it in red, it means that it doesn't belong to your class, therefore you cannot pick it up. However, you still are allowed to shard it to get basically what's going to be required for you in the event that you should choose to forge weapons or abilities. This chest right here is a class chest. What's a class chest, you might ask? It's a chest that generally will spawn weapons up to epic rarity for specifically your class. And yes, if somebody's playing with you and they're a warrior or a mage or an assassin, when they open that box, it will pop out things more geared towards their class as well. In this case, we've got a green crossbow out of there. We grabbed a dodge roll out of there, and we're on our way now to look for more loot. Shards. Shards are super important. Once again, a class chest. It popped out on a different rarity grapple hook for me. Whoops, I ran into a person here. I think this might be one of the 40 bots that potentially could be in any lobby. Some people have asked about the bots. Are there bots in the game? Are there NPCs? The answer to your question is yes, there are. Every lobby has the maximum capacity to take, currently with the solo and trio modes, 60 real actual players, and then the rest of the lobby up to 100 is filled in with 40 bots. Trust me when I tell you that 60 real players in a lobby of Realm Royale Reforged is a ton of real players and is very competitive, rivaling any game out there that currently might be a favorite battle royale. Trust me when I tell you they all have bots similar to, if not more, in their solo, trio, squad, duo lobbies. Here I've now run into a real player, for example. I'm having a decent fight with this person. You can tell by their movements that they're a real person. They're attacking, they're using their abilities. This is usually an indication of a real player. This guy is going to destroy me. I'm not really looking for a fight here. I just recorded this literally for the video. But again, just an example of the differences that you can expect from a fight with a bot as opposed to a fight from a real player. All right, let's talk about forging. But before we get to the forge, I want to stop here momentarily and talk about the things that you're going to be able to forge, as well as things that you can pull out of chests. These little bad boys right here are your armor. Armor is critical in this game. You'll be able to pick up armor out of chests along with weapons and abilities, but you can also upgrade that armor at the forges, as well as you can forge new armor. Every single thing you see here on the screen, from the weapons to the abilities, including your movement ability, can be forged for a different rarity, from a minimum of epic all the way up to legendary. When you kill an opponent, you will always find what's referred to by all of us in the game, a shard, and it's usually a packet. Generally, and I'm not sure the new value of it in Reforged, but it used to be 50 shards for just that little shiny thing right there. And finally, that brings us to a forge. All of the forges look just like that. Now, one of the things you got to be aware of when you go to forges is that they're popular places because everybody's trying to upgrade their weapons or get better weapons. So in most cases, you will find either bots or real people around a forge. So realize before you forge that you might want to be careful what you choose to forge, at least until you're done with the fight. In this case, we have a bot that kind of intervened with our fight here with what I think was a newer, as we would call it, a baby realmer at this point in time. But in any case, you want to be clear as to, for example, if you're with assassin, you might not want to forge your regular weapon like your heirloom or your slug and upgrade it, because that would leave you with only a sniper, meaning that you're only going to have one shot to shoot a player if they're trying to get you. Same thing would go for if like you're a warrior. You might want to just be careful if you're going to get rid of that axe that you have a decent secondary weapon so that you can fight off anybody that might be coming to try and kill you or fight with you while you're in a forge. Another really helpful tip if you're new to this game is when you go to try to select an item. So for example, I want to put that conch in my second slot on the screen, the middle slot. You've got to use the select bind along with the bind for that slot in order to actually replace it. And likewise for the slot number 1 as well. You'll notice the little action, the arrow down, asking which slot you want to put it in. Once you see that arrow, you then select the keybind that matches that slot, and voila, you're set. Guys, thanks so much for taking a look at this super simple, very basic introductory video on some of the things you can expect as a new player at Realm Royale Reforged. I've really enjoyed doing this video. It dawned on me in the middle of this video there's so much more to tell you, so I've decided to go ahead and try to break down some of these different areas into some videos of their own, meaning I'll try to do an assassin video, show you all the movements, all the capabilities, what they mean, ways in which you can use them, and so on and so forth. Until then, you guys, thanks again for coming through. I really appreciate all of you and all the feedback you give me on the videos. Don't forget to check out my TikTok. Don't forget to check out my Twitch. And until next time, you guys, see you in the realm.